Should be a Makarok. I think you have to react to this. So he'll be a little bit tipped off to this. The question is going to be how much damage can it actually do. Now, where the bunker's being placed here, it's hard for the probe to catch it. There is a little bit of RNG about where the SCV goes in this process. You kind of want the SCV to almost skip over the top of the bunker if you can get it to do that. But it's one of the few things in StarCraft you can't really control the outcome of. Oh, it's so low!
SCV 2 hits away from going down as the Reaper's now out. Probe's going to try and use the bunker as a wall here against that Reaper, and unfortunately will not be able to stop the SCV from continuing to build that barracks. The first Stalker is getting chrono boosted out, but at least the shield battery starts at the low ground here for Cure. Now is Cure's window to try and get some damage done. Already, Trigger lost that one probe of the natural expansion. One more is going to go down here in the main base, and he actually takes down the Reaper. Some nice control there by Trigger. Oh, that's not the start Cure wanted.
SCV Matrix dodging the shot from the Stalker. Oh, that's funny. He's going to send it up. Was there something bugging with the Reaper when it tried to go up? It almost looked like it went along the wall instead of actually jumping there. Kind of a weird moment. Anyways, Command Center started here. We do have a Cyclone being made next. And, you know, the whole issue with the bunker and putting this up here is it's very low cost, very low risk, and it does stop the Protoss from really taking advantage of the second base. But, you know, the bunker's been sold or salvaged or whatever we call it, and now probes are going to the Nexus. This is all happening before the Command Center has finished here on the high ground in the main base of Cure.
Yeah, I feel like Trigger dealt with this very well. Cure, it was a large investment. The proxy barracks so early is expensive in terms of SCV mining time. We had 3 Reapers produced here by Cure. One of them already has fallen, gotten very little, and Trigger, he waited, but he didn't get the final shot on those Reapers. I liked how he waited at the top of the ramp to make sure those Reapers had already started the animation to go up before finally letting loose the first salvo from those Stalkers. He was trying to buy enough time where he can get the third round of shots in to actually snipe down one of those Reapers. Unfortunately, did not translate into a Reaper kill there for Trigger, but only losing 2 probes is basically the ideal scenario, I think, against such an aggressive proxy barracks.
But yeah, I mean, Trigger's definitely powering up. He's definitely going to have some tools at his disposal here to fight as well. You know, a big picture in PvT, we've seen a lot of games where players basically go for, oh, hold on. We got a little engage over here, and it looks like the Stalker shots are kind of scattered. Now, obviously, Cyclones can basically chase this down. He does end up losing 1 Stalker and trades it out for the Cyclone. Anyways, what I was saying a second ago, you know, this is a situation a lot of times, like for instance in last year's StarCraft 2 matches, a lot of times Protoss just wants to defend, you know, and basically get different kinds of splash damage tech here.
A very important part of PvT is trying to line up your power spikes with the Terran player's power spikes from the Protoss perspective, and I feel like Trigger's done a very good job of doing that right now, because this is Cure's big push. He wants to get a lot of damage done with this one. The first engineering base only just now about halfway finished, so we need to get some damage done here. Trigger's going to charge in. Zealot charge nearing completion, now finally done. Colossus pretty low on HP. Trigger's going to micro that back, and now a charge fully researched. These Zealots are able to sprint to the front line, even with an armor-shredding missile coming in from those Ravens. Trigger's still able to hold on quite strong there, sniping the Raven by blinking forward as well. And just an immaculate defense by Trigger. That's given the confidence to go ahead and take the bottom left expansion too, a little bit. When Cure went for that move out, Trigger, he cut probe production. He made sure all resources were infested with no forges, with no upgrades, on just powering through and surviving that one moment. And then the moment that Cure does back off, the moment that Trigger successfully defends, we see 2 forges get thrown down. We see a 4th base now come through. We're adding in static defense. Trigger really trying to find an angle here. And unfortunately for him, Cure just moved past his army, and I think he's going to get a free snipe here on this Nexus. Trigger might be able to surround this with a Zealot Warpman on the bottom side. It'll be hard for Cure to retreat away from this position.
Okay, so he's melting a lot of these Zealots over here. The question is going to be, how much damage can the Colossi do? The Nexus is still alive, and it's kind of being a blocker here from the infantry. Cure is getting chased away. He's looping around. Somehow both these Colossi lived through it. And in one of the more funny army movements we've seen in a StarCraft 2 game in a while. He's going to regroup back up here after making this full circle.
Oh, I don't know if Trigger can take this fight, actually. We don't have any meaty front line here. The Marauders is absolutely shredding through those Stalkers. Guardian Shield going to mitigate some of the damage coming in. Some fancy pickup micro, dodging the Viking shots with the Colossi. All Colossi still surviving to this point. But you see there's no front line. We have to dodge the Marauder shots with Colossus. Hot pickup. These Colossi solo on HP. Eventually they're going to get cleaned up. By some miracle, Trigger is able to win this fight.
Dude, that was crazy because that so looked bad for him for the first half of that fight. Like, he had the most god-tier Warp Prism Colossus juggles I have seen. That was incredible.
Trigger by no means should have won that battle. He just willed it through with a hot pickup micro on the Colossus. We had no front line on the Stalkers and the Colossi.
Trigger had no business having Warp Prism micro that insane. That was crazy. He's probably going to win this game now.
I mean, Kier's on the back rope right now. The third base already lifted off. We're only mining right now from the natural expansion here from Kier. Trigger, if he wanted to, could focus on just taking out this orbital command. Kier's on his last legs. What a fight from Trigger.
Yeah, he's going to be able to get the command center. It will burn down even if Kier were to win this attack here. He's doing, again, another fantastic job. Good targeting here with the Vikings.
Kier wants none of that micro again. Immediately focus fires down the Warp Prism before anything else.
Well, and the problem is now there's no Colossus here. So, oh, well, never mind. There's going to be one more coming up. The problem is, you know, now with Viking numbers this high, Trigger's starting to get a little bit more flimsy. You got to remember, like, Vikings, Marauders, Marines, Medevacs, they all come out in these huge waves. And that's also true for Zealots and Stalkers. But what does not come out in big waves is Colossi. They increment out one by one because they make from the Robo and can only be maybe chrono boosted out to come out a little bit faster. And so I don't want to be too deterministic in how this game's going to come out, but well, never mind. GG. Trigger's going to win this. I was going to say maybe there's a world where if he gets a third base up, he might be able to fight back, but Trigger, I mean, that micro back at the gold base was crazy.
I thought that was a really rough engagement coming in from Trigger, but with just pure control, he was able to win that fight. You can see a little bit of a shake of the head there from Trigger. I think he knows that it wasn't an ideal scenario for him, especially as you said.